channel. We're 100 subscribers now. So the first thing is that KinCash went through some technical trouble. It's all fixed now. It was a lot of work to get everything done because there was some, well, server trouble, but now everything is running smoothly. I tipped the support from a service that I use. I tip them with Code Wallet some money, which I think is a first. I think I'm the first one to tip someone for a professional service, like support service. So that's one thing. Then, which makes KinCash now basically functioning, fully functioning. There is, from my perspective, I think there's almost nothing that makes it not work. So everything works now on KinCash. When somebody posts a public cache link, it gets distributed on Telegram as well as on uh, Twitter, and that has been growing nicely. So we have. I should actually put the Twitter link also here in the description, so that puts the followers on Twitter now to 13, and the Code Wallet channel just reached 500 subscribers just right now. So we have 500 subscribers in the Code Wallet Telegram. We have 13 subscribers in the Twitter for KinCash, and that is a very good start. Um, because I feel KinCash has a real potential to go viral. I know a lot of people don't see that yet. A lot of people criticizing left and right, but I see things that they might not see yet. So this is going to be super interesting, and um, I'm going to add, and I have this code already finished. Like I said before, I have the Reddit code, kind of like Reddit style forums. I already have that finished. So I'm going to add that to KinCash within a few days. Maybe if I feel like it tomorrow. Depends. Because right now I've been doing a little bit too much work, so I could take a break or so. That wouldn't be that bad. Um, now the we're waiting for Penny Post, and we're waiting for anything from Code Wallet to be posted from their Twitter. We haven't seen that much yet, and um and of the kin community, I hate saying kin community because kin community is like as if there's just that community. I'm gonna stop saying kin community. I'm just gonna say like people who use kin. Um, let's just say, let's just say there's a lot of people that are very judgy on me in the kin crypto telegram group, and I find that funny because as the only developer not have they only remove me from that group, or they don't want to see me there. But they also talk about other things in there which are not kin related, like taxes, Bitcoin, and other things, and that supposedly is okay. And I want to say one very last thing about this thing is that Kinships had invited me back into working together, and then he was like, well, we can help each other. And we in the DMs, we agreed that we would kind of like cross promote, help each other, and blah, blah, blah. We didn't say to which extent, but we started to do it more and more and more. Or at least I was putting links to his Telegram group in all of my channels. And suddenly he turns his back on me and he's like, you're posting too much. So basically, what he wanted me to do is, yeah, sure, send me all your traffic, but I'm not gonna send you any traffic. Kind of like that. So, and I don't agree with this, and like I said, now it's now it has proven me 100% why it was so important to have my own channel. Because see, if I programmed the Telegram bot, and that which posts the cache links, and I need my own channels in order to activate the bot, because it would have never happened in the other Telegram group. So it makes perfect sense that I do my own thing. And yes, I do want to have control over my marketing channels. Absolutely. Just like when Elon Musk bought Twitter, a lot of people don't realize it because he would never publicly say it. Elon Musk didn't buy necessarily to save Twitter. A lot of people don't understand that. It's so funny to me, like that a lot of people really misunderstand a lot of things and how they work. Twitter is the easiest and cheapest form of advertising for Elon Musk that is out there. It's very direct. Nobody can filter his messages and so forth. So when he bought Twitter, he actually bought his largest marketing channel, and now he has full control over it. And when you sign up to Twitter, the top recommendation to follow is of course him. So it makes a lot of sense to control your marketing channels, whatever they are. So I did that basically by running my own Telegram channel. And I don't like running the group because in a group, everybody has the feeling that they have the same rights. And the problem with it, then it becomes too much at a certain point. And a lot of people get overwhelmed by the groups. Because, how are you going to read like 200, 300 messages going up? Makes no sense. So that's why I prefer running the channel. And I do think also I said this a lot of times in private, on my private, on my personal channels. I said this a couple of times that I believe 80 to 90% of society nowadays is toxic, and you can already see that by the amount of people that are vaccinated and that try to force others to be vaccinated. And those were like 60 to 90% of the population. So go fuck, they can go fuck themselves. And now AstraZeneca, what that is called, has been revoked from the market. And at that time, those assholes wanted all of us to get vaccinated, and then the people who got vaccinated wanted to have the non-vaccinated vaccinated. So there's a bunch of toxic people and assholes out there. I'd say like 60 to 90% of the population. And so obviously, if you have a group, any type of group, you're going to have a bunch of toxic people in there. And who are the people that use those groups the most? Those are the people that have the most time. Which type of people have the most time? Guess. So, I don't need this is something that that has been gotten so many times misunderstood. Is First of all, I don't need any other group because I have my own channels. That's one thing. The second thing is everything that I do is for Kin and Code, and that's actually the only reason I came back to develop sites and applications. And uh what was I gonna say? And they interpret and to interpret they interpret it like I'm trying to take away the members from that group, which is completely bullshit. Um, like I said, for one, I don't need it, and so the whole idea of how I'm using the group has been totally misinterpreted, and then the what was I gonna say? Um, I forgot. I guess I'm a bit tired. Um, And there's so many toxic people. There's so many toxic people all over the world, and it's also there represented there, of course. So if you have a 1,000, people in there, probably 800 are going to be toxic in there. It's just how the world is. That's how it's structured. A lot of people don't see it because they don't understand basic human psychology and toxicity and all of this stuff. And um, so uh, Yeah, so my only mission, otherwise I wouldn't be even on the internet. My only mission is to make Cold Wallet viral, to get it into orbit. Like I said, orbit meaning that it grows by itself. Does it need me? I don't know. We'll see. Will it need Kincash, for example, to make it go into that? You never know, because unless you are already in orbit, you never know what gets you into orbit. It could be, one contact there, another person that sees this there, and then they're like, "Hey, Leia, let's do this." And one there's so many insults. One guy said, "Oh, finally you're growing up," and all of this. And I've decided today, starting today, I decided to completely disconnect from anyone out there in the kin space, except of course Code Team and Brandon. But I decided to completely disconnect with it. I'm not gonna even post in the dev Discord anymore, because just these toxic people are lurking everywhere, and I have no desire to deal with them anymore. They're all the same. They're literally all the same. So only the Code Team and Brandon, that's the people that I want to talk to, and everybody else can go fuck themselves, to be quite honest, to be quite frank. And um and I don't care whether they like me or not, or whether they have an issue with me or not. I think you know why would I worry about a toxic person thinking about what they think about me? And I find it totally laughable that other people think that I'm toxic or that I have a strong ego, because I'm exactly the opposite. I just don't allow people to behave toxically towards me. So if somebody invites me and says like, "Hey, let's work together again," then I enter the group and I start talking, and then I receive a message, "We don't want you posting here anymore, this stuff." Um, I get the point where they could have the idea that I'm there to promote my groups. I understand they could get, but even this. Okay, this is gonna be so funny. Like anybody, I don't know if anybody listens to this, but I'm just gonna say for myself now. This is super funny because people say I have an ego problem, when in fact their problem is that I'm taking away members from that group, which is in fact an ego problem. So when you have a group, it has to do a little bit with the definition and understanding what ego truly is. Uh, if you're gonna use that word, you better understand what it means. Ego means it's not something that that's loosely defined, in my view. For most people, it's not clear what it is. They just use it as like, I don't like this person, so he has a strong ego. What it actually is first of all an identification with the body and with the mind. That's one thing. That's where it starts. So the stronger your identification with the mind and the body, the stronger it is. And the body works a lot on desire or fear. Okay. And when you're fearful of losing, then your ego might activate. So in effect, what is happening is that in their group, the moderators are fearful of losing something. They're fearful of losing the members. They're fearful of losing their community, and that's actually ego. So it's not an ego that I have an issue with somebody who attacks me, or um, who deals with me unfairly, but it's actually the fact that they are afraid to lose something. Because I have no issue. I don't need to be in that group. And that's the thing. I thought I was contributing to the group. If people don't feel that I'm contributing to the group, I don't need to be in there. See, I didn't come in there. This is something people don't know. I didn't come in there because I couldn't be in there. I came in there because Kinship said, "Lay, let's work together again." So, let's get that straight. So, if you want a little bit clarification on that drama, for me, it's not drama. For me, it's just entertainment, bullshit entertainment. Because, like I said, I don't need that group. I think a lot of people in there are, toxic, and they can do whatever they want. They're not my friends. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. I'm happy the way it is now. Now it's totally clarified because it's like I was stupid to go back in there after being kind of like indirectly invited again because it's like I said to myself, I don't need that group. I don't want to be in their group. I wasn't in there. Then my channel grows, and Kinship is like, hey, we should work together again, you know, and watch them. This is gonna be so funny. If if it's of course an if, but it could happen with the Reddit style forum. If Kincash starts to grow like insanely well, I bet you 100%. Like imagine the cold wallet Telegram. Imagine the cold wallet Telegram that I run to go suddenly to 2,000, 3,000 followers, right? With plenty of engagement. Trust me, trust me, trust me, they will, especially Kinship, will come back again and be like, yeah, let's work together. But this time, because I had been invited to the group and then kicked out again, this time, no go. Absolutely no go. And then I'll be like, hey, and then I'll run a vote. This is gonna be funny. And then I'll run a vote in my own community. You see how stupid this is? Like playing these stupid games, how stupid that is. And then I'll run a vote in my community and says like, "Hey, let's change the CMC link to my Telegram." I mean, do you understand how stupid all of that shit is? Like, why should I have more say if my channel is larger to direct the CMC to my place? But he with his group, he should be able to do that. So, one comment from Reddit was very, very good. One comment was very, very good. There was a guy who said that he warned about this, and he said that the Telegram links should be removed and deleted from CMC, and I completely agree now. I completely agree. Everybody else that is commenting, there's more of those toxic people like saying this is kindergarten, this is not productive, whatever. There's tons of bullshit that they're posting, whatever. I don't care. I don't know them. I don't give a fuck. They could be children sitting in the basement, you know, of their mothers or something, and they're just being delivered food, by their mother, and be like, eat your sandwich. Yeah, I don't know these fuckers. I always say, and this is like a funny thing to think about. Some people make a joke about me living in the van and all of this stuff. But if you made like a photo or a picture of a lot of these people in the community, I think you would start laughing. Except for the people that are professional, of course, that go into, that have their office space and they work on serious projects like the code team and all of this stuff. And I think there's a huge difference, to be quite honest. I think there's a huge difference mentally and character wise also between real techies, developers, and these kind of people, and people who are kind of like, they used to be called digital natives, and then people who try to understand and use the internet and do these kind of like technological things like setting up websites on Wix or something like that. I think there's a huge difference between them, because I think the software engineers, developers are much more open-minded, broad, and very, very forward thinking, but also very liberal a lot of times. And so I think they're just very different people, I believe. Um, and that's why it's hard to work together. And I think that's been the case in probably every company. And that's why a lot of tech companies actually don't even hire any other people other than software developers or engineers, because they want to have only that culture. And that's where Twitter started sucking, because they got a lot of people that were not um, in that space. So subscribe to the Telegram channel Code Wallet to get updated on the cache links and whatever is happening on KinCash. And of course, I post everything else in there also that happens in the Kin ecosystem, but it's just nothing is happening otherwise right now. Brandon is working on updates on Android. I saw that. I get always an update from the GitHub. And I wonder when they want to launch the Penny Post. Like, I don't know why they're like pushing it back. No idea. Maybe they're not finished yet. Uh, yeah. So I think for KinCash to start growing, I need to add the groups there. I need to add the groups there, and I'm gonna be doing that hopefully tomorrow or in 2 days. And the very cool thing is that anytime I post a cash link, be it 5 cents, 10 cents, doesn't matter. A lot of people come back to the site, and that's how I can get them into and populate this forum. Because even if just 1 or 2 people post per day, it could start growing. So it's going to be interesting. Um, yeah, so I'm super happy that everything is running again. I was lucky because the server was completely done for, and people at what is it called, Fast Panel, they helped me there, and that's when I sent them the cache link for the help. And it was actually a bug from their software that caused the problem, to be quite honest. So it wasn't my fault. Um, but apparently it made an entry in etc hosts, and that's where everything got fucked. But I'm not a Linux administrator, so I've done a lot of Linux in the past, but for a few years I haven't been doing it, so you kind of forget or you don't know. You have to really do this 100%. And plus, I think I realized something today which is very, very cool. I think there's in the not too distant future, you're gonna have AI administrators of server, and that makes a lot of sense. So the AI collects all of the information within the server, like all the configuration files, literally everything. It just collects a massive amount of data, and then if you ask, like, and it's gonna be real time, and then when you ask, like, oh, this site is not working there anymore because of this, it's gonna find out why and fix it. That's gonna be amazing. So you will almost not need server administrators anymore. Um, for hardcore projects, of course, but not for simple stuff. And then I realized it would be nice to have a site where you can have like mini jobs for which you pay in kin, but that's way down the line, I believe. I think the Reddit style site is now the best way to go. And I'm so happy that the thing with the group is now forever finished. There's no coming back through this. By the way, one last thing. I understood kinship fairly well, and there wasn't nothing misinterpreted. He basically, if I had said, listen, kinship, can I stay in the group? But that would have put me into like a real like pissy position. If I would have stayed in the group and said like, "Hey, kinships, I'm not gonna post any channels anymore. Can I stay still in the group?" I'd be like begging him I would be begging him to stay in the group. You know what I mean? And I wasn't in there to promote my group in the sense like, oh, here people come subscribe to this because I hate this group or something. I wasn't doing that, and that wasn't my intention, and so it was completely misunderstood, and and I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna beg for or and I'm not gonna forbid my own free expression. So if somebody's like, "Hey, what are you working on? What is that?" and I'm like, "Cannot talk about it because Kinship said I cannot post it here," so forget about it. So it's good and done for, and I'm looking for. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna look forward to the day when the Code Wallet channel is bigger than that Telegram group. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm just gonna enjoy that. Okay, that maybe might be a little bit of ego there, but I'm just gonna thoroughly enjoy this. And then I'll kick them out. I'll be like, Kinships? No, sorry, nah, I'm good.